You're going to take a moment to gather your props about you, anything that's going to make you feel safe and comfortable and held. You'll at least want a blanket, a strap if you have one, blocks if you have them. And then we'll meet in child's pose. The practice of yoga is about presence, being here with what is. You can bring your hands back by your heels if that feels nourishing for you right now. We're just coming to a state of presence, feeling your breath moving in and out, feeling your weight surrendering towards your heels and the floor. Jamie Anderson said, "Grief is love with nowhere to go." Feeling the fullness of that love, we're going to reach the hands forward and begin to shift your weight forward and come to lie on your belly. And then on your next inhale, you're just going to lift your chest for a little cobra pose, opening up through the heart and the shoulders. The practice today is going to focus on the heart, the physical space around the heart and the shoulders, and the hips. The hips are a place we store a lot of emotion. And the heart, being the home of love, is also the home for grief. Take a couple more breaths here and then exhale back into your safe, comfortable child's pose. Return to your breath, just breathing here. And then on your next inhale, come forward again onto your belly. And we'll lift the chest up, coming into a cobra pose. You can maybe come a little bit higher if you want to, or you can stay really low and just lift the chest a little bit, heart shining forward. Think about the heart moving forward into space. In the Ayurvedic teachings, it is said that only two things are to live in the heart, and that is love and courage. All other emotions pass through your limbic system, through your brain, but they do not live in the heart. They're fleeting. As you exhale next, come back to child's pose. Surrender into this. A few breaths settling in. And we'll extend ourselves out one more time. Feel the courage shining forward from your heart. You can either do a little cobra again, or maybe you want to try an up dog this time. Any version that's feeling good, getting some opening through your low back and the shining forward from your heart space. Feeling courage as you open your heart up. Holding space for whatever comes up. Maybe you can lift your head and open your throat. Being present with what's here. On your next exhale, slide your hips back again, child's pose. Coming back in, releasing the need for courage. And then we'll inhale, come on up to all fours, open your left arm up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale next, you're going to thread that arm in between your thigh and the right arm, and you're coming to rest on your shoulder. Getting this twisting, this opening through the upper back, the back of the heart. Maybe that right arm comes up, maybe it tucks behind you. Whatever's feeling good for you. Let's not push ourselves, but let's just come to rest in the pose and let gravity have its effect on the body. Being with gravity. Just a few more breaths. Let them be long and deep. And then we'll reach that right arm under the shoulder. We'll unfurl, lift the left arm up. One more time. Open your heart. Exhale, both hands down. Inhale, right arm lifts up, opening your heart up. And then on your next exhale, come through, resting the shoulder on the ground. Finding stillness with whatever variation works for your top arm. And just resting in presence. Feeling the breath. The heart is half open here, getting this release through the shoulders, through the thoracic spine, the upper back. And then you can take your left arm under the shoulder. Inhale, open the right arm up again. And then exhale, back to your hands and your knees. Come back for another child's pose here. Turning inward. And we'll come back up, lying on your belly. And then we'll take the fingertips out nice and wide. Lift your elbows up, letting the tops of the shoulders be heavy. Inhale, peel yourself up. Peel your chest, your head up. And then turn towards the left. You can lower your right shoulder towards the earth if this feels good. Otherwise, you can stay centered and just let the weight of gravity open through your shoulders. Inhale, returning to center, and then exhale, the left shoulder comes down. Just finding this spaciousness around the heart, nourishing all the space around the heart. Inhale, coming back up through center, and then exhale, release your head down. Inhale, scoop your nose and chin back, rise up, look up at the top, and then exhale, lower back down. Scoop back with your nose and chin. Inhale, round up. Exhale, melt back down, scooping and melting. Hands beneath the shoulders. We're going to lift up to hands and knees. And then if you have blocks, you might want them here. We're going to just step your left foot forward. Going to stay nice and low in this nice low lunge. Letting the hips sink forward. You can have your hands on the ground. You can have your hands on your thighs. Or you can have your hands on the blocks. We're just being gentle here, just letting gravity open your front of your right hip, around the left glutes, the right thigh. Press into the top of your right foot. Feel the firming of your right thigh. Maybe you can lift your arms up if you're feeling open to it. You can lift your arms up, really pressing into the top of your right foot, squeezing your thighs towards each other even as they open. maybe you can really let your heart shine forward and just take a moment in the courage of your heart. And then you can exhale, lower your hands down, and just slide your hips back, fold over your front leg, soften. You can reach your arms forward as much as is available, or you can have them on blocks back closer to your hips. Wherever you are, just soften. Don't worry too much about form. Feeling the back of your leg lengthening from the heel around the glutes to where he plugs into the low back. Next inhale, you can bend that knee, come on up again, find the courage to open your heart, and then exhale, lower your hands, slide your hips back, surrender, soften, turn inward. Next time you inhale, find the courage to open your heart. Take an exhale there. And on your next exhale, lower your hands, slide your hips back, turn in. And then on your next inhale, shift forward, find the courage in your heart, open. And then on your next exhale, lower the hands. We're going to step that foot back, take a child's pose. Present for whatever arises. We'll come back up to hands and knees when you're ready, stepping now the right foot forward. And taking that low lunge on this side. Again, your hands can be on blocks, on the ground, on your thigh. Just being here, softening to gravity for a moment. Pressing into the top of your back foot. Letting that left hip sink forward and heavy while also keeping it firm, squeezing inner thighs towards each other. Take a moment for courage, lifting the arms up with an inhale, shining the heart forward and up. Just breathing into the heart space here. You can keep your arms lifted if you're feeling courageous or like you want to cultivate courage, or you can lower your hands back to the ground if and when you've had enough. On your next exhale, hands come down, you slide your hips back, and then again finding where you can surrender over that straight right leg. You can either walk the arms forward or you can bring them back by your hips. Softening into this, surrendering into this. Taking some nice full breaths. Present with whatever is here. And with With your next inhale, we're going to bend the front knee, shift the weight forward, lift the hands, open the heart. Exhale, lower down, come back. Inhale here, exhale here. Inhale, rise up, hold for an exhale, opening your heart, feeling the courage. Exhale to lower your hands, slide your hips back. Inhale here, exhale. Inhale, shift forward, rise. Feel the courage. Your next exhale, lower your hands, shift back. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, bend the knee, rise on up. Feel the courage. Opening your heart. Next exhale, lower your hands, step back, find your child's pose. Present with your breath, moving in and out. The simple act of breathing can be so nourishing. And when we pay attention, all else can begin to fall away. We're going to come up onto your shins. You can place your hands on your sacrum and lean back, taking a camel pose. If you have it in your practice, you can bring your hands down to your heels, really opening your heart, taking this moment for vulnerability, opening your chest, feeling your arms squeezing towards each other, heart open to the sky. Couple breaths with this. And then as you're ready, lift your head first and come back up to vertical. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale, child's pose. Returning inward. Returning to the breath. And we're going to come on up. We're going to lie on your back. You're going to have your blanket and your strap nearby. You're going to place your blanket right underneath your sacrum. It's folded or rolled in any way that feels comfortable and supportive. And then as you inhale, you're just going to really let your arch of your low back grow. You're going to let your belly lift up, pulling the arch of your low back off the ground. Feeling that space around your navel, lifting up. You might need to scoot your shoulders down so that you can get that arch. And then as you exhale, you're going to press the low back towards the ground. Think about your tailbone lifting up towards the ceiling. You might need to scoot yourself away again. We're going to repeat this. As you inhale, you're going to let your tailbone rock towards the ground, the arch of your low back lifting. And as you exhale, the low back lengthens and the tailbone reaches towards the ceiling. Flowing with your breath, just rocking the sacrum rocking the pelvis on the blanket with the inhale and the exhale. On your next inhale, you're going to follow the tilt of your tailbone upward and just take a little bridge pose, letting the energy move down towards your heart, but also grounding through your feet, pressing down into both feet, staying grounded as we nourish your heart. Next exhale, set your hips back down onto the blanket. Bring both knees up towards the chest, so your knees are just going to be above your hips. And then lower both knees over to the left side. And look out over your right shoulder. Your right arm can be up at about shoulder height. Just wringing yourself out and starting to get some opening through the hips. And you're really just softening into this shape. Very little effort. Next inhale, bring the knees back up over the hips and then lower down to the other side. Left arm can be up at about shoulder height and your head turns to look over the left shoulder. Knees are heavy, starting to find this length, this opening through the left hip, the left waist. Just another breath here. Letting it be effortless. And then gather your knees back up. You're going to place your feet on the ground and just move your blanket out from under you. And you're going to place it onto your belly. You're going to fold it in a way so that it's going to come in between your thighs and your belly. So you want there to be something that you're pressing against, pressing your thighs against the blanket, and the blanket really putting some pressure into your abdomen. As you inhale, you're going to flex your feet, toes point up towards the ceiling. Exhale, point the toes away. Inhale, toes up towards the ceiling. Keep squeezing your legs into the blanket. Exhale, toes point away. Inhale, flexing the feet, toes towards the ceiling. And then exhale, point the toes away. Inhale, toes up. Keep squeezing your thighs into the blanket. Exhale, point your toes away. And you can release your legs down. You can remove the blanket. You're going to take hold of your strap now. And if you don't have a strap, you can use your blanket. Just drape it over the top, the ball of your foot. You're going to lengthen that left leg. And then straighten the right leg down. As you exhale, you're going to take that left knee out towards the left armpit for a half happy baby. Then inhale, extend it back up into the strap. Exhale the knee towards the armpit. Inhale, press the foot into the strap. But as you're doing that, you want to create some resistance. So you do want to pull down on the strap as you press up with your foot and your leg. Sometimes this will induce some shaking, especially if there's been some trauma. And that shakiness is your body's way of processing trauma or stress. So embrace it. You're going to let it come if it does, and if it's not, don't worry about that either. Just continue exhaling the knee towards the armpit. Inhaling, pressing the foot into the strap and pulling the strap down too. Flowing with your breath, exhaling the knee towards your armpit. Inhale, straightening the leg back up over the hip. Going as slowly as your breath allows, we're going to switch, taking the right foot into the strap and bending the left knee for a moment with the foot on the ground. Just drawing the right leg towards you and then straightening the left leg out. With your next exhale, you'll bend the right knee towards the armpit. Inhale, you'll press the leg up into the strap as you pull the strap down. Going as slowly as your breath will allow. Inhale long and slow, pressing towards straight. Exhale long and slow, softening knee towards the armpit. Inhaling and exhaling, knee in towards the outside of your body. Inhaling straight up into the strap. Exhaling, knee comes down. Flowing with your longest, deepest breaths. Present with whatever arises. Again, welcoming any sensations that come through your body. We're going to go ahead and after your next inhale, remove the strap, bring both knees into your chest. Then we're going to lift the soles of the feet towards the ceiling. Come into a full happy baby. You can have your hands behind your knees, on your thighs, on your ankles, the outsides of your feet, or gripping your big toes. We're just softening here into this shape. Letting your thighs be heavy. Letting your sacrum and hips be heavy. Feeling the tug of gravity and being present with it. On your next exhale, you can release your feet down. We're going to take a Shavasana, so get comfortable, put a blanket over you. You can have a pillow for your head or your eyes. Make sure your feet are spread at least as wide as a yoga mat, and then turn your toes in and out a couple times to open and soften the sacrum against the ground. Hands are splayed out to the side. Again, wider than your yoga mat, and your palms are face up. And we're going to just surrender into this moment of gravity, letting go of any resistance in your body, softening every ounce of your weight towards the ground, letting go of any holding in your tissues, and just breathing, being breathed here in this moment. You can stay here as long as you're liking, as long as you're able to stay present. And when you're ready, if you're ready, you can begin to take some gentle movement, letting yourself be held on your side for a moment. And again, you can stay here as long as you'd like. When you're ready, you can come to sit. Sitting up nice and tall, you can have a blanket over you for comfort. We're just going to take 3 breaths, breathing into the low belly, the rib cage, the chest, and out from the belly, rib cage, chest. Inhale, belly, rib cage, chest. Exhale, belly, rib cage, chest. Inhale, belly, rib cage, chest. Exhale, belly, rib cage,